Courtney Bjorlin. I'm in the ASUG News studio, sponsored by NTT Data, and I'm joined by Ira Feinberg of Return on Intelligence this morning. Ira and I are going to talk a little bit about a very important topic for SAP customers these days, UX strategy, but we're going to talk about it from the perspective of building a business case for UX strategy. So Ira, I was recently at a chapter meeting and one of our customers stood up, our ASUG members stood up and said, you know, I care deeply about my users, I really, really do, but how do I get my business to care about bringing a new UX strategy to my users? How can we kick it off here?
Sure, well, Courtney, they're inexorably intertwined, if I could say that 3 times in a row without missing it. Basically, it's not all about the beauty. I mean, people like to look at screens just like they look at their iPhone, but fundamentally, UX can really drive significant implications or impact in productivity, cycle time, reduce rework, error rates, all the stuff that has a very solid business case associated with it. And oh, by the way, it's a better experience for the people.
So it's really beyond the beauty contest here, and now that SAP, we should mention, has made these tools available as part of maintenance contracts, it does make the conversation a little easier to start.
It absolutely does. SAP Screen Personas, as an example, is a great tool to leverage the assets you already have invested in your ERP system, but fundamentally change the experience to the user and significant impact on the business.
So let's talk about the process itself, right? How do I start? How do I align the right stakeholders? How do I make sure that the process that I'm going to target is already a good process in the first place? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure, and that's a great question. Historically, people did interviews, they sat behind people, what looks inefficient. It pretty much was a data-free process. And with our firm, we actually have a tool called TEPO that allows you to quickly quantify what happens really in a process, who does what to whom, all the human-centric aspects of it without touching the application. What that allows you to do is build a very credible business case. Here's what I can save in terms of time, or free up people's time to do higher revenue things like cross-selling.
That's so important, and what you point out here really is to start by looking at the process itself, and this particular tool can really help users do that.
That's true, and historically one thing that nobody does is after I've changed a process, actually go back and remeasure it. And I can actually capture what are my gains. And that makes such a difference to a business. And what we found is that by using tools like SAP Screen Personas combined with front end and back end, focusing that kind of program, together it really makes a big difference.
So the measuring the return, right? This is a step that we always miss
right.
when we're putting in these SAP applications. Can you talk to me a little bit about measuring the return on investment for a UX strategy?
Okay, so good example. When we run this tool, we can engineer a quick study in 1 or 2 days. Let's say there's 50 people in customer service. They will poke things in an application defining what it is they just did, answer some questions. We'll have 5,000 data points in 3 days, fully costed with all of the stuff that Six Sigma type people love.
Okay. Cause
and effect, root cause. And as a result of that, you can make some intelligent business decisions and say, declare victory.
That's so important, really important. I mean, we've taken it from start to finish. To close out a little bit here, let's talk about maybe some of the top tips you have for really selling this to your management.
I guess number one is make sure you engage all of the people, not just the managers, but the staff who directly do the process. They typically know more, and we found some remarkable, unanticipated discoveries of people who've cracked the code, and they're 5 times as fast as anybody else, but nobody knows it. So I think that would be 1. 2 is make sure you have effective executive support and communication, that when you're measuring people, they get nervous. It's not a performance, who's faster, Joe or Susie, but rather it's going to raise information that we can use to make the right process decisions and enable those with SAP technology.
Thanks for that, Ira. And we have so much UX content available here at the show, and also through ASUG as a resource is great for UX content. Please turn to asugnews.com and asug.com for more information, and thank you for watching.